All right, we're in New York City. We're at Audacy Live. We are at the Hard Rock. And we were doing a couple acoustic songs for you guys. And we thought we would just roll back time. And we would just 20 years, when was that? Love Angel Music, baby. We're going to do a song called Cool. Bring it. It's hard to remember how it felt before. Now I found the love of my life. Past as things get more comfortable, everything is going right. And after all the obstacles, it's good to see you now with someone else. It is such a miracle that you and me are still good friends after all that we've been through. I know we're cool. Cool. I know we're cool. And we used to think it was impossible. Now you call me by my new last name. Memories, they seem like so long ago. Time always kills the pain. Remember Harper Boulevard, the dreaming days where the mess was paid. Look how the kids have grown. Oh, we have changed, but we're still the same after all that we've been through. I know we're cool. Cool. Eh, I know we're cool. Cool. Eh, I know we're cool. And I'll be happy for you if you can be happy for me. And circles and triangles, and now we're hanging out with a new girlfriend, so far from where we've been. I know we're cool. Cool. I know we're cool. Cool. Audacy Live, we're cool. Audacy Live, we're here. I'm Gwen Stefani. We're doing a couple songs live for you guys, just on the fly. Just happened to be walking down the street. They pulled me into the Hard Rock, and here we are. This next song is called Pretty. This song is about when you basically you look at yourself physically or even emotionally through your life, and you think, when did I peak? When was I cute? You know what I'm saying? And then you look and you go, I looked at all my photos and I was like, oh my God, when Blake loved me, I looked stunning. All of a sudden I could see, because when someone loves you, you feel good and you feel pretty. You reflect, you're reflecting the love, whatever. You don't even have to put this on there, okay? I'm just telling for the audience that's in this room. So shut up. Anyways, guys, I love you. Audacy Live, here it is, Pretty, off the new record, Bouquet. I'll never be adored. That's what I used to tell myself. And what's a heart for when it doesn't even love that well? Every wrong turn is the one I take. Every wrong move is the one I make. I blew my petals falling, then you showed up and you say that you're all in. I never felt pretty till you love me. I always felt pretty, pretty, pretty unlucky. I never felt pretty till you love me. And now I feel pretty, pretty, pretty lucky. And look into my eyes, and show me what I couldn't see. I didn't see the light, and now I sparkle like a diamond ring. Every wrong turn took me right to you, making out all night in the living room. I blew my petals are falling, and you showed up and you say that you're all in. I never felt pretty till you loved me. I always felt pretty, pretty, pretty unlucky. I never felt pretty till you loved me. And now I feel pretty, pretty, pretty lucky. Pretty, pretty, pretty lucky. Yeah. Pretty, pretty, pretty until you love me, until you touch me. Never felt so lovely until you, till you, till you, till you. Oh, I never felt pretty till you love me. I always felt pretty, pretty, pretty unlucky. I never felt pretty till you love me, and now I feel pretty, pretty, pretty lucky. Pretty, pretty, pretty lucky. Pretty, pretty, pretty. It's a little bit naughty. We're going to do a song called Somebody Else's. Here we go. I don't know what a heart like mine was doing in a love like that. I doing in a love so bad, but I know now. I don't know what a woman like me was doing with a man like you. Ooh, but now I got a love so true. So I know crazy now that I found the real thing. You don't compare, and I don't care. You're somebody else's, and it doesn't even break my heart. You're somebody else's, and I pray for them whoever they are. Oh, every day with you is rock bottom. Leaving you saved me, my God. Look at me blossom. You're somebody else's problem. I didn't know that something so fake could really make it hurt so real. How'd you go and make it feel like my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault? Wow, if I could go back in time, I would erase you. Ooh, but I could never go back there. I might be wild, but I ain't that crazy now that you're dead to me. I feel so alive, 'cause you're not my you're somebody else's, yeah, and it doesn't even break my heart. You're somebody else's. Woo! Pray for them whoever they are. Oh, every day with you is rock bottom. Leaving you save me, my God. Look at me blossom. You're somebody else's problem. Woo! It's somebody else's. Whoa! It's somebody else's. Here we go. Narcissistic, semi-psychotic, so manipulated, I bought it every time. not this time. You gaslit my world, it was burning. Had to leave before it stopped turning. So happy I could cry, 'cause you're not mine. And it doesn't even break my heart, you're somebody else's. And I pray for them, whoever they are. Oh, every day with you is rock bottom. Leaving you, see me, my God, look at me blossom. You're somebody else's problem. You're somebody else's problem now. Ooh. Bouquet is out, my new record. Thank you guys for inspiring me to want to still do music, and whoever listened to my music all these years. Meow, I love you. I want to do the title track of this record. This is Bouquet. When my heart was broken, thank God that yours was too. So lucky that you were going through what I was going through. And then the next thing you know, we can't leave each other alone. Kiss me and it felt like home. And that's when I said, you bring the dawn and I'll bring the promise. You bring the dogs and I'll bring the boys. You gave me everything that I wanted. I even got your last name. I got the faith and you got the patience. I drive you crazy, you drive the truck. I know that we'll be okay. We're making our own bouquet. Sunflowers and roses tied up in a bow. And now look at the life we made. We're making our own bouquet. I put your name on the dotted line, signed up for more than me. Saw you turn into the man that you were born to be. Oh, and then the next thing you know, we can't leave each other alone. Kiss me and it felt like home. And that's when I said, you bring the dawn and I'll bring the promise. You bring the dogs and I'll bring the boys. You gave me everything that I wanted. I even got your last name. I got the faith and you got the patience. I drive you crazy, you drive the truck. I know that we'll be okay.
Hi, we're at the Audacy Live, Hard Rock Hotel, New York with Gwen Stefani.
Yay, here I am, guys. This is so cool.
Big congratulations on Bouquet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Big day.
Big
Thanks for
day.
sharing it with me. This
Of
is
course.
like magical for me.
What was the inspiration? Now, how was this record born?
Oh my gosh, this is a really long answer if you want it, but I just think I felt like at the end of the pandemic time period, there was just this kind of voice inside me that just was like, I want to see if I could write a song. And I think that because when I first discovered songwriting, like that I could do it, because when I was a kid, I didn't really have any dreams or goals. Like, just kind of floated. Like, I didn't go, oh, I want to be a singer when I grow up. Nothing. Like, there was nothing. It was just kind of like, how am I going to get through this math test? Like, I have no idea what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I wrote this song, and it was like, oh my gosh. My first song I ever wrote was called Different People. It's like I wrote one. I don't even know how I did it. Didn't know I could do it. And but it made me feel like I didn't know at that time it was my purpose, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy to do something that's like worthy of like listening, like I can listen to it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I felt so like I found my identity. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that when you don't do it, if that's your identity and your purpose, right, then there's a voice inside of you that's like, knock, knock. You got to still do that. Right. Like that's what you're there for, kind of thing, maybe. And so I just started flirting with the idea and went into the studio by Zoom. I was doing a bunch of Zoom. Like nobody wanted to hang out with me in real life. It was crazy. And then I ended up going in the studio, and it was like everything was covered in plastic. And the girl I was working with, I was like, I wouldn't recognize her because she had a mask on. Like, we're trying to sing and write songs with masks on. What were we doing? Right. And that was the start of it. And I think I felt like really confused about what I was at that point. You know what I mean? Stylistically, being that I've dived into like so many genres, like not on purpose, it just was an evolution of genres. And then who am I now? But I think, do you remember, like, I feel like around that time, everyone was getting like nostalgic about 90s.
Oh, yeah.
You noticed that?
We all went there.
Yeah. And I felt like it got me inspired. I was like, ooh, maybe I'll make like a reggae, a happy, like fun record, but it just didn't feel right. Every time I would write something, it was just it didn't land, like, even for me. Because normally the only way I'll put something out is if I'm obsessed and I listen to it over and over and over and I can't stop. Like, I could secretly have to lock myself in the bathroom just to listen so no one thinks I'm weird listening to myself that many times.
Oh, we know how it goes. So with this album, if every song was an individual flower, and you kind of have to tie it together to make this beautiful bouquet. So is there a theme that goes through all the tracks to make the album?
I definitely think there's like a light theme on it. And I got engaged 4 years ago. That's when I started writing it. And typically, like, I'm not like never been like, how do you call it? Like a creative writer. Like, I don't make up stories. Like, it's just, I have to really like feel something, and then it becomes a song somehow, magically. Thank you, God. Because they're like kind of handed down. I feel like I'm just a vessel, and then I'm meant to share them. And then that just really is true. I will promise you that, because I'm in the room and I see it happen, and I'm just as like amazed when I get a good one too. I'm just like, thank you. But I feel like I just thinking about like the seed of hope, and just even gardening, like literally, because Blake and I started doing gardening together, and they say people that garden have longer lives.
And it's therapeutic.
Yes.
Right?
And my mom used to garden when I was little, and I'd be like, what is she doing on all fours, like digging in the dirt? Like, what do you, like, that's so boring. But I guess going to Oklahoma, we were talking off air about this, but I got there and I didn't know what I was missing with like being around nature, because my nature was like the beach, Huntington Beach, California, didn't really have much else except for like elementary school park that you went to and went on the swings. It was just not a lot of nature in Orange County. And being there, and he would do all of this like big scale, like planting alfalfa, corn, and he would get so excited about it. Like he would drive by it, he would look at the, like when it's gonna rain, he would be like, he would stay up at night and be like, oh my God, there's gonna be a storm, or it's gonna rain, I just plant. I mean, he would be away from me and like be like, no, I gotta go home and plant, like obsessed, right? And I was like, what is wrong with this person? But then during the pandemic, we were like, hey, I said, if you're going to plant all that, why don't you plant something worse, something like, let's plant some flowers.
Something pretty.
Yeah, something pretty. So we planted some zinnias, and then we also got to see like the seasons change, and like we don't really have that as much like in California, but it was cool to see the wildflowers come up, and it just became like a hobby for us together. And I think when you look at nature, you learn so much about your life and about just this life, and the cycles that we go through. And I just saw this metaphor, so it just kind of kept coming up in the songs. And there is a bit of a floral, but it's really about the seed of hope. When you plant something, you can hope and dream, but it doesn't mean it's going to come to life, if it's not meant to be for you. And when it does, and when it blooms, like I feel like I just bloomed. Like I wanted this record, and I fought for it. Like I really did have to fight for it, within myself. And then also I felt like everyone around me was just like, what are you doing? Like you already did that. You know what I mean? So it just feels so good to do it. And now I'm talking about it to you.
Oh, I love that. I love all of that. And
Thank you.
What else I like is you said you were slightly inspired by yacht rock listening growing up in the back of a station wagon. Mm-hmm. Is there any artist or musicians that inspired Bouquet?
So many. I really like so many. I mean, even before I started writing this record, I can remember sitting with my label and thinking, I really want to do like a singer-songwriter, like a record that reflects those songs, like, Carole King, or like the things that were right there when I was a kid. Because I think maybe just as through life goes, you get nostalgic. You know what I mean? You like think about your childhood, you think about all the things that happened to you, especially when you have children, then you start to really reflect on that time period. And I also think that just rediscovering songs, Blake and I kind of landed in this place where we, he's country. I don't know I at that point didn't know any country. Like, I mean, cowboy boots were like, what is that? Like, wait, are these cowboy? No. I've totally changed my style for you, Blake. But like, I think that like he likes 80s. I love 80s. So I was like, that was like, we landed in that place together. And then we would do this game where he would be like, okay, do you know this song? And we'd just lay around and he'd be like, and we'd start the song and we'd wait for the chorus. Oh my gosh, I totally remember that one. You know what I mean? From my kid, like being a kid. And so started listening to a lot of that music again. And just more like really wanted to make a record that I want. Like, I can't do a ska record right now. Like, that was high school. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to make something that was honest, real, pure, and appropriate to, like, me, who I am now. Like, not trying to chase the other me's.
Yeah, what you're going
through. You know
through.
what I mean? Yeah, like, this is me right now. So it feels good to do that. Like, it feels so therapeutic, to capture it in songs.
We're talking about, growing flowers. You must have a favorite flower, because I know you teamed up with Farm Girl.
Yes,
and
that was so cool.
People can buy bouquets online.
That girl's probably like, I have a stalker, Gwen Stefani. She's trying to get free flowers from me all the time. She won't stop emailing me. No, I am flower obsessed.
I know you talked about zinnias, but what else do you like to grow? And I know you've probably got a lot of space, with the
we
ranch.
have a lot of space, but it doesn't mean it's easy in Oklahoma. It's like it's like you have to be there, and it's like it's crazy weather, it's crazy circumstances, so it's a whole different challenge. But peonies grow in Oklahoma, and they don't grow in California. So I got super into peonies, but then it was just kind of devastating because you plant them and it takes 3 years for them to mature to get to these big, good flowers. And then on top of it, like half the time I won't be there. It's only like a 2-week window. And I'm like, last time I literally picked them and brought them to LA like on a plane because I did not want to miss like my peonies. But then that was kind of my favorite flower because and I know that there's a lot of people out there, you're listening, if you're flower people, like when Trader Joe's gets those peonies in, it's like the fans come out and they're like running to get their peonies and they're like taking pictures of them and because they have this like crazy vase life. where they give this
they're
show
gorgeous.
to you, right? They're like, they give a show. But I love doing the dahlias because I think they're like the gift that keeps on giving. Like, I didn't know how many flowers they produce, and I know they don't cut well, and they go in the vase and then they die quick, but they're worth it. I'll cut them.
Whatever's worth it.
I just love it. I don't know why. It's just, it makes me feel, it's like this hope that you get. I don't know. Just, I go out there with my little coffee. I look at them. Oh, look at you. You grew. It's just cool.
It's nice to
It's
see,
very
right?
cool. Shut up. I'm not a geek.
You know, Gwen, with all your success, I just want to ask, what would you tell your 10-year-old self?
Oh, that's crazy because I have a 10-year-old boy. And so I can really relate to that. I would say, like, I hate giving advice because who am I to say anything? But what I will say is that when you have a life and you look back on it, you can see like things that happened and why maybe, or you can like kind of dissect it and go, oh, I was just being myself. I was just with all the flaws, you know, and I wore baggy pants because I didn't like my legs and I liked my tummy. So I cut my shirt off and you know what I mean? Like things that were just, I didn't have this. So I did this. And, it's like, it's interesting when you look back at it. It's like the one thing that I think made me be successful was just not trying and doing it like because we loved it. Like we were together 9 years making music in the garage. You know, I'd be like, Dad, I need $5. He'd be like, get the wallet. I got to rent a microphone and the cord is like $1.50. Okay. I need a cord, you know, and be lucky if I had like 10 cents left over for that Del Taco. And you know what I'm saying? It was just like a time where we did it because it was passion. And we knew we weren't going to make it. Like that would be, nobody makes it. So I think when you're pure and you do it for the right reasons and you just, no one's going to be like you. So I would say that to my 10-year-old self because I didn't know that until now. I worried about it. I was like, you know,
You let it organically grow.
I did,
right?
But I'm saying like through the years though, it's like every human being, like you worry and you get insecure and you are trying to find your purpose and you don't even know that you're trying to find your purpose until you're older. And then you're like, oh, that was my purpose. That was my gift God gave me. I'm supposed to use it. If I don't use it, that's a sin. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. So that's why I made this record. Cause I was like, you know what? Like the truth is like, it's not a conceit to say it because it's actually, we all have gifts. Like we all have something that's unique to us that somebody else can't do. You know what I mean? Or we do it in a different way. And so I think that it's just really important to recognize it or find that in yourself, you know?
Oh, well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Gwen
You're the
Stefani.
sweetest.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on Bouquet.
Thank you.